This tale doesn't begin like any other. No, this one starts with a warning, as all true stories should. It's a warning that goes beyond the ordinary, a tale that whispers to the very core of your instincts. They say if you listen closely enough, you might hear it. The beat of ancient drums, the chant of long-dead warriors, and the sound of footsteps from a world beyond the veil. This is the story of the Night Marchers, a legend from the islands of Hawaii. I was on the Big Island with two friends, Jason and Mark. We had planned a week-long getaway, beaches, hikes, and good times. Our Airbnb was a cozy little spot near the coast, tucked away from the usual tourist traps. The owner, an older Hawaiian woman named Malia, was friendly but serious. When she handed us the keys, she gave a firm warning. If you hear drums at night, do not look, do not run, lie face down, and whatever you do, don't make a sound. We laughed it off, assuming it was just a bit of local superstition meant to scare tourists. But Malia didn't smile. "This is not a joke," she said. "The Night Marchers do not forgive those who disrespect their path." Curious, I asked her about them. She explained that the Night Marchers are ghostly warriors, spirits of ancient Hawaiian chiefs and soldiers. They roam sacred grounds at night, marching in strict formation. If you see them, you are as good as dead, unless you follow the old ways. Lie down, face down, and show respect. That night, after a few drinks, Mark suggested we hike up to a nearby ridge to catch the moonlit view of the ocean. Jason and I hesitated, but ultimately gave in. We grabbed flashlights and set out around 11 p.m. The trail was eerily quiet. No wind, no rustling leaves, just the sound of our footsteps crunching against the dirt. As we neared the ridge, Jason stopped suddenly. "Do you hear that?" A low, distant drumming echoed through the valley. We exchanged nervous glances. Mark grinned, trying to shake off the tension. It's probably some locals playing music. But deep down, I knew better. The rhythmic pounding was steady, unrelenting, growing closer. Then came the chanting. It was deep, commanding, and ancient. The kind of sound that doesn't just fill the air, it vibrates in your chest. My stomach twisted as I remembered Malia's warning. "We need to leave," I whispered. But Mark shook his head. "Come on, this is some once-in-a-lifetime stuff. Let's see what it is." The torches appeared first. Small, flickering lights at the base of the ridge, moving in perfect unison. One by one, tall, shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, marching in rigid formation. Their armor glinted under the moonlight, spears and weapons at their sides. Their eyes, completely hollow, yet burning with something unearthly. Jason grabbed my arm. "Dude, we have to go." But running was not an option. The moment Mark took a single step back, the nearest warrior turned its head sharply toward us. Time stopped. Then came the war horn, a bone-chilling sound that ripped through the night. The warriors charged. I dropped to the ground, face down, pressing my body into the dirt. Jason did the same. But Mark hesitated. "Guys, this is stupid. We need to..." His voice was cut off by a gust of wind so strong it nearly lifted me off the ground. The air turned ice cold. My ears filled with a deafening hum, like a storm raging inside my skull. The drumming was all around us now, so loud I thought my heart would explode. And then, silence. I stayed motionless for what felt like hours. My lungs burned from holding my breath. Then, as suddenly as it started, the air warmed. The wind stopped. The drumming was gone. Slowly, I lifted my head. Jason was shaking beside me. Mark was nowhere to be seen. We searched for him until dawn, screaming his name. But there was no sign of him, no footprints leading away, Nothing. When we stumbled back to the Airbnb, Malia was waiting for us. One look at our faces, and she already knew. "You didn't listen," she said softly. We called the police. They searched for days but found no trace of Mark. The official report said he wandered off and got lost. But Jason and I know the truth. The night marchers came that night, and they took him. As the days went by, we couldn't shake the feeling that Mark was still out there, somewhere, caught in a world between the living and the dead. We tried to go back to our normal lives, but every night, when the wind howled or the drums echoed in the distance, I would hear that war horn in my dreams. And then I would wake up, heart racing, knowing that Mark wasn't coming back. I returned to Malia's house one last time, hoping to understand more, to find some sort of closure. She told me that the night marchers take only those who aren't willing to show respect for their path, those who don't listen to the warnings. Mark's curiosity and defiance had sealed his fate. She handed me a small carved stone and whispered, "Keep it with you. It will protect you." I didn't ask her any more questions, but every time I look at the stone, I'm reminded of that night. The drums, the chanting, the warriors marching in perfect formation, and of Mark, who never had the chance to lie down, face down, when the spirits came. So wherever you are, remember this story. And if you ever hear those drums at night, don't be foolish. Don't make the same mistake we did. Stay silent, lie down, and never, ever look. Because the night marchers are out there, waiting.